Hi, my name is Jonny Garrett and I am the founder of William Wood Watches. I'm very excited to be here today with Oracle Time to present to you our new Courageous collection. This is a very, very special watch which is inspired by the fire exit running man. Question 1, how did William Wood get to where it is today? Right, well, William Wood started back in 2017. I actually previously worked full-time in a bank. I was always super passionate and wanted to run my own business. My grandfather was my biggest role model in my life. Sadly, he passed away in 2009, but his legacy lives on in every single one of our watches. We initially crowdfunded the business through Kickstarter, and fast forward to today, 7 years on, we have customers in over 50 countries worldwide, the US and the UK being our biggest markets. And just last year, we announced the fact that we are stocked nationally with Watches of Switzerland Group, which includes Goldsmiths and Mappin & Webb, which is a really exciting milestone for our brand. What is the unique piece you are producing for the British Watchmakers Day? Okay, so this is our new Courageous collection. It is the first time that we have ever produced a 7-day day-date watch, and every single day of the week represents the fire exit man from the universal sign that we all know, doing a different action. So for instance, Monday, he's running into work. Tuesday, he's working hard at his desk, all the way to Friday, thank God it's Friday. Saturday, he's partying, and Sunday, he's hungover or exhausted. So it's a very, very special take on the fire exit sign. What's really cool as well is the back of the watch has what we call a flip book. If you imagine back in school when you used to have the stick man on the page of each book and you'd flick through it, you can actually see that as the disc spins in the back of the watch. And all of the straps are made from upcycled British Racing Green Lancashire Fire and Rescue Service fire hose. Question 3, what was the design process for creating the animations on the dial and the case back? We are always wanting to be as playful as possible with our brand. We have a very specific niche, which is obviously firefighting, and that allows us to know exactly what our perimeters are to be as playful as possible, because we know what our values are and what we stand for. Because the fire exit sign is such a universal symbol, it's got instant visual property straight away. So we actually use the exact Pantone color of the fire exit sign on both the bezel and the dial. So when you see that against our gunmetal grey brushed case, it's something which is really, really special. Which exit man are you feeling like today? Well, I've actually just flown in from France earlier this week. I live over there with my wife now, and we've had 3 days in London. So it's been back-to-back meetings. So I'd say that I'm definitely Monday, which is working really hard and running all over the place to meet up with different people from the industry. So I am Fire Exit Man Monday. How far can you push the fire service and fire theme? This is something and a remark that I'm asked actually quite frequently, and it's something that I'm very passionate about myself. If you think that every single country in the world has a fire service, and the amount of people who can actually empathize with the story and the connection that I have with my grandfather, we find that about 75% of all of our customers are watch enthusiasts and 25% are firefighters and first responders. A lot of people can actually empathize with the story that I have with my grandfather, whether they have someone in the family who was a first responder or even just had a beautiful connection with their older generation and family tree. That's where they can really wear our watches with pride. So I think we can always go even further with our story and connect with our audience for sure. These are quite good questions, by the way. What does it mean to be a British watch brand? For me, I believe the British independent watch space is one of the coolest and most creative industries in the world. If you look across all of the British independent companies, every single person has a different offering. And something that we find as well is people who wear one of our watches also owns a handful of the other British independent watches too. And that's the cool thing. We've all been able to carve out our own uniqueness. And there's a real camaraderie as well. When you look at things like the British Watch and Clockmakers Alliance, it really brings us all together to be able to share best practices and challenges amongst the industry. So, and I also think that British or quintessential British industry is really well respected around the world. And that's something that we're certainly proud to represent when we do trade shows in places like the US. If you could be the CEO of any other watch brand, which would you pick? That is a tough question. If I had to answer, I would probably say that I'd want to be the CEO of Apple's watch brand, because what Apple has done to the industry of product design as a whole is unbelievable. It's obviously quite controversial because they have a smart watch over an analog watch, but there's so many brands these days that are looking to have such a simplicity in their design, right down to the packaging. If you think about when you open up an iPhone or an Apple Watch, even just that suction of the box coming off is something which is really cool and something that I really respect. So I would say I'd want to be the CEO of Apple Watches. What inspires you? So what really gets my juices flowing is making sure that we have complete autonomy every single day to be able to do business with who we want, when we want, where we want, and having complete freedom over my diary and the team's diary is something which is so motivating. And I can say this with confidence because I used to be a corporate banker for almost 10 years, where you have such a structure and rigidity and routine on a daily basis. And it's quite funny that the watch in front of me, the Courageous collection, sort of personifies the working week of a person. So it's so beautiful to be able to decide what I do when I want to do it. And that's something that really inspires us with the designs of our watches, to really think outside the box and produce things that are playful and different. Where can people buy William Wood watches? Well, first and foremost, obviously, we would love for you to come through to our website. That is williamwoodwatches.com. But we're also very proud of the retail partners that we now work with. So across both the UK and the US, you can purchase a watch through Watches of Switzerland, Goldsmiths and Mappin & Webb. In the US, there's also additional branches through Mayors and Betteridge. And we also have a retail partnership with CW Sellers and Dura Watches. Feel free to explore our partners' websites, and we'd love for you to come into store and obviously try our watches on in person. We also have a roster or a blueprint of different shows that we're going to do in 2024. So if you are going to be in London, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, please do book a ticket and come and meet me and the team in person. What's next for William Wood? Well, if I had a crystal ball, I would say that 2024 is actually going to be our biggest year yet. The reason being is we have a watch that we are going to be announcing which plays heavily into World War II history. It finally makes a natural transition between firefighting and military, and we've actually been down to see a specific piece of history in Canary Wharf today. Can't reveal much more, but we are collaborating with a specific vehicle that played a pivotal part in saving lives in World War II. We are super excited about that watch, and that is going to be our main focus for the year as we build up to announcing that piece around May time. We're also going to be onboarding more retailers as a brand. We've also locked into all of our shows in the US, so really excited to meet with our customers over the pond. And we do have plans as well to expand further into Asia. So certainly lots on our plate for me and the team, but just really looking forward to bringing more exciting new designs to you guys.
That's it.
Boom.
That's all of them.
Easy.
Great. Well done. Thank you, Johnny.
Thanks,
awesome.
mate. No worries.
I do love the colour of this watch as well.
Yeah. Get stuck in, mate. Cool. Yeah. So it's wild. I mean, I certainly haven't seen a watch which has done the exact Pantone colour of the fire exit sign. And we wanted to, rather than having a stainless steel case, we wanted to really draw it out with that gunmetal finish.
Yeah, it's really nice. I love it. Can't wait to film it. But that's perfect.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. Awesome.
Okay, cheers.
You're natural in front of the camera.
Thanks, mate.
Appreciate
Much
it.
better
Than myself. I attempt it.
Just 10 questions done.
You keep recording at the end as well.
Oh, right, work.
Yeah.